On February 26, 2021, 29-year-old Brittany Gosney and 42-year-old James Hamilton stepped into Middletown Police Department. They wanted to report Brittany's 6-year-old son James Hutchinson missing. It might appear as if Brittany was a concerned mother, but she had already gone to extremes for another James in her life. However, the detectives could see right through them. The officers knew that they were not dealing with concerned parents and considered both Brittany and her boyfriend James as persons of interest. This is the interrogation that followed.
All right, so tell me what's going on. What happened here? I'm Detective Hoover, okay? They called me and my partner out for anything to do with children, missing children, children that have been abused, whatever. That's what me and one other guy do here at the PD, okay? So this is real important, this part, is you have to be 100% honest with me with everything, okay? Because we don't have this, we're missing a 6-year-old little boy, and we're trying to figure out where he's at. I got to make sure he's safe, okay? What time did you get up this morning?
He woke me up at 8.
He woke you up at 8. Did he wake you up any time before that to say that James was missing?
Not that I remember.
Okay.
He said he tried to wake me up several times, but
you don't
I'm on
remember?
medicine, so.
What kind of medicine do you take?
I take anxiety meds.
Okay. I do too. So, what's it called? What do you take?
Hydroxyzine 3 times a day, and then I take this blue pill. I don't know what the blue pill's called.
Okay.
At nighttime.
This is where I need you to be honest with me. It is what it is. Okay. Do you use any other type of narcotics, drugs, illegal drugs, or anything? Do you smoke weed?
No.
Okay. You don't use heroin. You don't use.
No, I've had family members that
Meth,
passed away from that stuff, and
okay. Do you
that
know?
pushes me away. So.
Do you know if your boyfriend does? Does he use any type of dope at all? Not that you know of. Well, you would know more than anybody. That's what I'm asking. You're not going to get him in any trouble. I just need to know if you're being honest with me. That's what I'm trying to feel.
I mean, I've never seen it. I mean, we smoke cigarettes.
I'm not talking about that. I said drugs, illegal drugs. Of course. A lot of people smoke cigarettes. A lot of people smoke weed. A lot of people use heroin.
I mean, he smokes weed, but
okay.
That's the only thing I know of.
Okay, that's all.
I don't know if he does anything else.
Okay, you don't need to protect him. I'm getting a feel for you, if you're going to be honest. I just need you to be honest with me, honestly. Don't overread into any of my questions, okay? I promise you. So he wakes you up at 8 and tells you what? Or do you wake up on your own at 8, or does he wake you up at 8?
Well, he woke me up, and because he went looking around first, he said he had come in there several times before to try to wake me up, and he said I didn't respond to any time, so he just went outside and looked around, went through all the rooms, the closets, and all that, and he couldn't find him anywhere. So then the next thing he thought to do was just go around a couple blocks, see if he might be close by.
Did he walk there, or did he drive there, or what did he do for that part?
He drove around.
Okay.
But he came back and woke me up, and he was like, you know James is gone? I was like, what? And I was like, no, I thought he was upstairs asleep. And I even woke up the brother and sister, maybe thinking they might have seen him up, about, moving around or something, and they said they didn't hear nothing, they didn't see him. He's a baby, so right. I'm kind of worried about him.
Well, sure, yeah, people want time to,
Gosney's composure and her being devoid of emotions is disturbingly inconsistent with a parent who has just lost a 6-year-old child. As for her other kids, she refers to them as his brother and sister, and not her children. Something does not seem right with Gosney. But before the end of this interrogation, we will have a theory in place.
He's physically healthy, no
yeah.
health issues,
No.
Oh, great, good. Good boy at home?
Yeah.
Pretty good boy. How do you guys discipline him when he does?
Stand him in the corner.
I spank my kids. My kids are grown now, but I did spank my kids. There's nothing wrong with that. Do you spank them? Do you just ground them? Do you take stuff from them?
Well, my son with the red hair, because he likes playing like video games and stuff like that. Well, the baby doesn't really know how to work the controller and stuff. He tried, but we just make him stand in a corner just for like a little bit to make him know that you ain't supposed to do that.
But you're saying other than that, he's a pretty good kid. As far as like behaviorally, he's a 6-year-old, so I know 6-year-olds.
He has his little fits here and there, tissue tantrums. I just overlook it.
Right.
Because, that's the only thing you can do. Because, the other ones have the same thing, or they like to throw themselves down to the floor, or stomping, or something like that. But other than that, he's a pretty good kid.
What's the address on there? And how long have you guys lived there?
We just moved in there.
You just, yesterday, a week ago? 2 weeks?
The beginning of the month.
The beginning of the month, okay. So, beginning of February?
Yes.
So, about 4 weeks, 4 weeks-ish. Okay. In the room that James sleeps in, there's a pillow in there, and there's like some scratches on the floor. You know what I'm talking about? I don't know. It looks like maybe with a toy, maybe, or something like that.
The kids play upstairs in the room.
Have you ever noticed those scratches before? Do you know what I'm talking about when I say that? You do not?
No, I don't. It could have been there when we moved in.
Yeah, sure. I didn't know if you paid attention to that.
I didn't really look at the floors.
Okay.
By stating that he spanks his children, Detective Hoover is using minimization of the severity of the crime. This is to create a safe space for Gosney to disclose any potential abuse inflicted upon little James. His intention is to minimize the stigma surrounding child maltreatment, as he strongly suspects it to be a factor in James's disappearance.
Has James ever been missing before?
He was missing once before.
How long ago was that?
I want to say it was the first of the month, but it could have been later than that. But I know it's sometime this month.
From that house?
Yes.
So he was missing once before from that house, and how long was he gone for?
I don't know when he was outside, but he found him at the you know how there's basement stairs? Well, he found him at the bottom of the basement stairs. I don't know what he was doing, but...
Is there only one way to get into your basement?
Yeah.
That's from the outside? Okay. Where did you meet James at Hamilton?
At his ex-wife's house.
How'd that turn out?
Well, I was with somebody else at the time, and basically we were homeless. And I've known him for several years.
You've known James for 7 years?
Several.
Okay.
And I figured since we was homeless, call him up, see, hey, can we move in till we find something else, get situated or whatever. And he said, yeah, that's fine, we'll come get you guys. So he came got us, and we lived there for, I want to say, like 2 or 3 months or later, more. And then husband and wife had a big argument, and they had a big argument or whatever, and he found out she was cheating on him, and a whole bunch of crazy nonsense. I didn't want to get involved. I was like, okay. So I try to stay out of their business. But
how long have you guys been romantically involved?
For almost a year.
For almost a year. And then you just moved in together for the first time? Or were you living once they started arguing and all that, neither one of us had a place to live. So we went to the hotel in Dayton. Because we was trying to find cheap hotels we can afford. So that was the cheapest one we could find. So we just went and got a motel until we was able to save up enough money to get our own place, and we were just now able to get our own place. Are you in love with James? Okay. All right. How does James discipline the children?
Same thing I do, make them stand in the corner for a couple minutes.
All right. Where do you think your child is now? Any idea?
I have no idea.
The 6-year-old is missing for the second time now, so it's almost impossible that this looks good for Gosney. But she finds herself more preoccupied with shaping a narrative that portrays her relationship with her boyfriend James favorably. Typically, individuals who are concealing the truth tend to experience cognitive dissonance, a sense of inner turmoil. However, Gosney's apparent lack of concern about her role in her child's disappearance suggests a troubling detachment from moral responsibility or empathy. Instead of confronting the gravity of the situation, she prioritizes preserving her image and avoiding the label of a homewrecker, revealing a strong lack of remorse or introspection.
My job is I'm going to go talk to James here in a few minutes, and I'm sure he's going to tell me a little bit different story, okay, because that's what I get. That's what I find when people aren't telling me the whole truth about everything. You can help yourself out tremendously if you know anything about anything that happened, because if I prove otherwise, that you didn't tell me the whole truth, then that doesn't look good for you, okay? That's not going to be good. If you're forthcoming with me now, I can deal with whatever happened. I can deal with whatever, and we can go through that together, okay? But I need you to be honest with me about everything, because I'm going to find what happened. I'm good at my job, and I'm going to find what happened to this little boy. So is anything else? Before I walk out of here, this is your opportunity to be 100% straight with me. I suspect James, or I got mad at the boy last night, and I spanked him, and he took off out the door, or just anything weird is fine to tell me. You're not going to tell me anything that's going to surprise me, okay?
No, I mean,
Did you hurt your baby?
no.
Now, do you know?
I love my kids. I would never.
Okay. Do you know who hurt your baby?
No.
Do you know your baby's whereabouts right now? Okay. Do you suspect James is doing anything to your baby?
No.
Okay. You're 100% sure on that one?
Yeah, he loves him like I already do.
For the most part, Gosney seems to be sticking to her story and appears to be protecting her boyfriend James. Police have already discovered a needle at Gosney's residence, suggesting the involvement of drugs. This only establishes to Detective Hoover that Gosney is not ready to open up yet. The next step is to determine whether James will also show loyalty and protect Gosney. While Gosney was being interrogated, James was visibly restless. James appears to be the weak link and seems to be more conscious of the threat he's facing. However, he also has one or two tactics up his sleeve.
So like I said, pretty much my standard thing, you don't have to talk to me if you don't want to, but we're all here for the same goal.
Same reason.
And, you're free to leave whenever you want, but whatever. But again, we have got to find this whole fellow.
Oh, yes.
We have got to.
Believe me, that's the best thing I want.
So, let me start off. Good. I'm glad to hear that. I really
That's the
am.
only thing I want.
Well, good. All right. So, how long have you lived on Crawford?
A month now.
Detective Matt is employing the same strategy as Hoover did with Gosney. He's trying to build a rapport.
Yesterday at about 12 o'clock. Where was everybody at noon?
Home watching TV.
So all three of the kids, you and Brittany, were at home watching television.
Yes, sir.
So you guys are all in the living room, let's call it, watching.
They have their own rooms upstairs where
they
sleep.
Okay.
Until now, the interrogators were heavily relying on the inconsistencies in James and Gosney's narratives to confront them, but so far, the stories are largely similar and well-rehearsed. Now it's time for the use of an additional tool in the interrogator's arsenal of tactics.
Man, why does this boy have to do this? God, James, why do you do this to us? Come on, I'm gonna get out and look for my stepson. This ain't doing me no good here. And I'm gonna have to be out helping find him. Come on, I want to go try to find my stepson, man. God, please, let us find him. Come on, I need to go do something before I fall asleep again. I hate being sick. That's all I want to do when I sit around is go to bed.
As soon as the detective steps out, James can be seen performing a little for the camera. The defense mechanism James is portraying is called impression management. He's not only voicing his narrative and concerns for little James, he's also softened his voice to be perceived as less threatening. However, interrogators are trained to recognize such tactics and usually have their own tricks to counteract them. There is one other development at this point. Detectives Hoover and Matt know that little James was in trouble last night, and the information has come from a third party, the other children of Gosney. Detectives can leverage this information to obtain more from the couple, and they'll start with Gosney.
You should have told me, okay? Again, if I find out differently, you could possibly be looking at criminal charges down the road if you're not telling me everything, okay? Because this is serious. I'm missing a 6-year-old boy. I hope he just ran off on his own, okay? But something's not clicking with me. Don't worry about that. Something's not clicking with me, okay?
They're just family trying to see if I'm okay and stuff like that, probably.
Yeah, okay.
Because they come in.
So the last time you saw your baby was 9 o'clock last night?
Yes.
And the baby's been missing since 4-ish, 4:30-ish, whatever. And nobody's called the police since 10, until 10, after 10.
We came here at 9 something, I believe it was.
I can tell you exact time, 10:16.
I really don't pay attention to time.
Okay. So was the 6-year-old get in trouble last night? You remember?
Sorry, I'm trying to remember. Yeah, he got in trouble for something. I remember what it was.
You don't remember what it was? Okay. What was the punishment last night?
Corner. I don't really like putting my hands on my kids.
That's okay. That's fine. Some people don't. I didn't have a problem with it. So, and I didn't, spank on the butt is what I'm talking about, of course. But, the kid said something about, you guys, what'd you have for dinner last night?
They had pizza rolls and chips.
The kids did? Okay. They're telling me that James had gotten in trouble for something and that he wasn't given pizza rolls, but he was given bread instead because that was his punishment. You remember that?
No, we gave them like lunch meat sandwiches at lunchtime.
And then all 3 of them, you're saying, got pizza rolls last night? Why would the kids tell me that? It's my experience that the most truth you're going to get out of anybody is from a child. And both I got a 6 and a 7 and an 8, 9-year-old or 8-year-old almost, or 9-year-old almost, that is telling me that he got in trouble, so he wasn't allowed to have. He had to miss dinner and given bread and something to drink instead. Why would they tell me that?
I don't know. They had bread. They had bread for lunch.
Okay.
I don't know if they kind of got lunch and dinner confused.
Okay. Was he punished by not giving any type of food at some point yesterday? Maybe not dinner, but maybe lunch. Maybe that's what they're getting confused. But they had lunch meat sandwiches, you're saying, at lunch.
Yeah. I don't never make them go without any meal.
I know that.
I'd rather go without before them.
I understand what you're saying. I'm just trying to figure out what they're talking about, what the kids are talking about.
I have no idea.
Okay.
Although pizza rolls are far from healthy, food is a basic need and one of the essentials of childcare. Holden's term, food weaponization, could certainly be associated with the concept of using food as a form of punishment or control. According to organizations like the American Psychological Association and the American Academy of Pediatrics, withholding food as a form of punishment or discipline is considered a form of neglect and can have serious negative consequences on a child's physical and psychological well-being. However, the fact that one of Gosney's children went missing twice before turning 7 suggests that this wasn't an isolated incident of mistreatment. These were the only incidents that came to light.
Is James, your boyfriend, that's what I'm talking about now, has he ever hit you?
No.
Put hands on you?
No.
Have you ever seen him put hands on the kids?
No.
What was the needle that we found down at there was a needle found at the side door where it supposedly was unlocked or locked or something like that, but you know anything about that? So do you use needles for any of your medication?
No, there's, the people next door does drugs.
Okay, so maybe it was from one of them, is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen?
We always see a whole bunch of people just walking in through the,
Oh, yeah.
cutting through basically.
Have you ever seen James, you had any needles? So I'm talking to James, and he's telling us he's coming around. So this is the deal. Are you reading right? Can you read?
I can read some words out, some words like it's like big words I can't understand.
Okay. I'm going to read this to you. What you don't understand, I'll explain it to you. Does that sound good? It says, warning, I am a police officer. I warn you to have the right to remain silent. They say can will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to consult with a lawyer before and during any questioning and have a lawyer present while you're being questioned. That if you cannot afford a lawyer, won't be appointed to you free before any questioning, and you can stop talking to me or any other police officer at any time during questioning. Do you understand that? Meaning that I'm not forcing you to talk to me. I'm trying to figure out what's going on with your baby. Okay? Flip that card over. Do you understand that? Okay.
Sorry, I've just never been through one of that
all right.
before.
I need you to print your name right here saying you understand that, and then we'll date and time.
We know Gosney is trying to protect her boyfriend James because he has a criminal history that includes multiple drug-related charges and a conviction for burglary. He's also on parole at this time. To get any sort of useful information, this protective nature has to be broken down. Usually, Miranda rights are read before the interrogation commences, but in the case of Gosney and James, they're being read in the middle of the interrogation. But is it not legally binding for interrogators to read them at the start? In this case, the interrogators initially viewed Gosney and James as witnesses or persons of interest rather than suspects. As the interrogation progressed and more incriminating information emerged, they've decided to formally designate them as suspects, and now read them their Miranda rights to ensure that any subsequent statements are admissible. However, there's also a tactical advantage detectives have received. Without reading them their rights, the detectives have already established rapport with the suspects. But post the reading of the Miranda rights, the detective talks about a different story from James. What story is that?
Here we go. There you go. So, James, I've gotten some more, I got a little bit more info than we talked last time, and just because you've been here for a while, and you got brought down in Cruiser, didn't you? Okay. Well, we've got a little bit different rules and all that, and I'm going to read you this just because we've been here for a little while. I'm coming up. This is actually our your Miranda warnings. Have you ever had these read to you before?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you read and write okay? Can you read that top paragraph for me, if you wouldn't care?
I, James Hamilton, have been advised of all my rights as contained on this card, and I understand all of them, and I wish to talk to you without, no, see, sure, I haven't read that before.
What is that?
Depends on what kind of questioning.
Oh, it's just,
I mean, it's without a lawyer present. I mean, if you're sitting there trying to question me as a suspect or something like that, then
no, well, you've been here a little while, and you said whenever we walked in the door that we all wanted the same thing, and that's just fine, little James. I basically don't, I've got other officers out doing a bunch of stuff. I've got other officers that are out checking vacant buildings. They're out pulling videos from surveillance cameras that are in the neighborhood around there. And it's kind of like, I really don't have anything else to do right now other than to go back, kind of retrace steps, go over things again.
I'm starting to get hungry. I like
Okay.
to go home. I mean, I like to take my kids and my fiance
Sure.
home.
Sure. Well, with that being said, your fiance,
I'll answer
right.
any questions
We-
you want me to. But
do what, sir?
I'll answer any questions you want me to.
Well,
But as of right
just-
now, I have gave you as much information as I
Sure.
know.
Well, not necessarily, because Brittany's kind of told a little bit different version of, and I would say a little bit just because that's just being conservative. She's told a little bit of a different version of kind of the events leading up to what has occurred.
Detective McIntosh is saying the same thing that Hoover said to Gosney. The detectives do not actually have any different story, but they're sure something is not right with both Gosney and James. This bluff is risky. It's also part of the Reed technique. But will it work?
Discovered that he was missing. You went out and walked the neighborhood, and we found, which door did you go out of?
I went out the side.
The same, did you go to the alley or did you go to Crawford?
I went over the alley and then down through looking for him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like I said, he was on the back steps that first time.
Uh-huh.
That was my first thing.
The back steps, like...
Going down to the basement door.
Okay. And were those doors open?
No, they're not. They're padlocked shut.
Mm-hmm. But now they are, or they were then?
They were then, too. He was just sitting there on the steps about halfway down.
Oh, whoa. It goes down, then they're padlocked.
Yeah,
I got you.
Outside.
Yeah, I got you. So little James was kind of acting up a little bit last night. And he had to go to bed early, right?
Yes.
And what time did he go up to
Don't recall.
Just a guess.
I don't even want to give you a guess because I do not recall how many.
So, but it was before everybody else.
Yes.
So you go upstairs with James and help him get in his bed or in his bedroll.
I did not.
Okay, you did not what?
Go upstairs with James.
Okay. Who went up with him?
They do it on their own.
Okay. So he went up early and earlier than everybody else. So aside from a time, let's say, not a specific time, but did he go up a half an hour early? Did he go up an hour early?
I'm not too for sure, sir.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not going to sit there and tell you one thing.
No.
20 minutes from now, it'd be something else.
No, and you see, and like I said, I'm talking to you now because I've got more information, and I've read your rights mostly because you've been here for a little while, and I don't know if you were maybe just tired, you were confused. You told me that you've been taking medication, but some of the kind of big details are different than what Brittany has explained to me, and as well as the other two kids, it's a little bit different than what we initially. That's why. Whenever something happens, I always tell people there's three sides to every story. What this guy says, and what really happened. Just because, it's just the nature of the beast.
Yes, sir.
Everybody doesn't see something the same. Everybody doesn't view something the same. Everybody doesn't remember something the same. But that's why I'm trying to talk to you again. I'm not trying to trip you up. I'm not trying to do any of that. I'm just trying to make sure we didn't miss something.
My main concern is finding James, sir. That's my main concern right now.
Sure.
That's all I got on my mind is where's my stepson,
Then help me help you guys find James. That's why we're here.
I gave you all the information I know.
Okay. So at some point during the morning, Brittany goes upstairs and picks James up and brings him down the stairs. Do you remember that?
No, sir.
Okay. Because she's claiming you were awake and you were there when she carried him, brought him back downstairs. Is she incorrect there, or is she making that up, or could that have happened? And
It could have. I mean, I remember. I mean, like I said, I'd sit there and I'd doze off.
Sure,
I mean, I was
sure.
just sitting right here going to sleep. Like,
sure.
I mean,
So,
medicine. I mean,
so do you remember sometime after all the kids went upstairs and they were asleep or went to bed, because God knows they may lay there for an hour, but sometime after that, Brittany goes upstairs and gets little James and carries him back downstairs?
not that I recall, sir.
Not that you recall? Okay. Because Brittany's saying that you were awake when she brought him back downstairs and you guys talked briefly.
I mean, I might have. I don't. I
Mhm.
do not recall, sir. I mean,
Okay.
when I'm half asleep in that, I
Sure,
don't remember.
sure.
The detectives are resorting to a tactic commonly known as creating a rift between suspects to break the solidarity between Gosney and James. By falsely claiming that one suspect is providing potentially incriminating information about the other, the detectives aim to sow distrust and encourage the suspects to reveal valuable information in their defense about the incident. How is that working for Gosney?
Picking him up, taking him downstairs.
You don't remember anything about picking him up, taking him downstairs in the middle of the night? James is pushing this off on you, okay? I'm gonna be real upfront with you about this at this point. I'm getting a story that is totally different than what you've told me, and I don't know why James is telling me that, but that's what he's telling me. Okay, that's part of what he's telling me. Okay, he's wanting more detail than that. Okay, but I'm not gonna share that with you. I need to know what happened last night with your boy, your 6-year-old. Or this morning, early this morning. In the middle of the night. Whatever.
I know he said that he had a nightmare.
The
But
6-year-old?
Yeah, but I didn't carry him downstairs or anything.
Okay, who carried him down the steps?
He walked down the steps.
He walked down the steps in the middle of the night? About what time was that?
I couldn't tell you. I didn't pay attention to the time.
But it was in the middle of the night?
Yeah, I was more worried about what was wrong with him.
What does that mean?
Like
Why he was downstairs?
Why was he downstairs? Why was he awake? What was bothering him? Did he feel sick? Or he had to use the bathroom?
Okay, so he's downstairs, and what does he say to you?
Me had a nightmare.
Okay, in those words? Okay. So, me had a nightmare. What did you do? What was the next thing you did?
Just try to sit there and...
Where did he come to? The living room?
No, he went in there and woke me up.
In bed?
Yeah.
And was James in bed with you at the time?
Yeah.
And then what happened?
He come in there and said, "Mommy," I don't know how many times he probably said my name. I'm a deep sleeper.
Okay.
But I was rolling over and I heard "Mommy, Mommy." At first I thought I was just hearing things, and then something told me, like, maybe I'm not hearing things. So I opened my eyes and he said, "Mommy, we had a nightmare."
Okay.
What
is his bedding?
A blanket that lays on the floor, another blanket to cover up with, and a pillow.
Okay.
So I went upstairs, came back down. I turned, because he was like, "Mom, can you turn something on so we can see?" And I turned the TV on, that way waking everybody up in the house. So I turned the TV on. He asked, "Mom, can you put cartoons on?" I put cartoons on for him. Because they like, when they're doing their schoolwork at school, they do their work. I don't know if your kids get on YouTube and watch all these SpongeBob and all that. They get on YouTube and watch SpongeBob, but he wanted to, we don't have cable, so he asked to watch cartoons. I was like, I'll find something, and there might be something on it this time. But I was going through the channels, found the channel. He said, that's fine, Mom. So I sat there on the couch. He was sitting on the floor, on his bedding, next to brother and sister on the floor. And he was just sitting there. I asked him a couple times here and there, are you okay? Is something still bothering you? Are you still scared? Do you feel a lot better?
Detective Hoover is cunningly changing his moves and strategy accordingly, all within the Reed method of interrogation. He's not exaggerating when he says he knows his work. He's confrontational, yet the atmosphere of trust is impressive.
All over the place with your stories, okay? For whatever reason, you're scared and you're not telling me the whole truth, okay? And I understand you being scared. I know you don't know me, okay? But I'm the most honest policeman person that you're ever going to talk to, okay? I'm telling you, it's in your best interest to tell me the entire truth, okay? Or you're going to be in a world of hurt. I'm telling you. No matter what happened. No matter what happened. By telling me the truth goes a long way. It's going to go a long, long way in this process, okay? I know that something either accidental or something happened to James, or you wouldn't be all over the place like this. I've done this a long time, okay? This is all I've done for 27 years, okay, is talk to people. You have to tell me what's going on and what happened, okay, at this point, because James, your boyfriend, is telling a different story than what you're telling, okay? You're deflecting, you are minimizing stuff, meaning that, you're just not telling me the whole truth. Well, he's breaking down, okay? He's telling me the whole truth, okay? So you can sit here and keep lying to me. I can't make you tell me the truth. You know that. You're going to have to take a deep breath and tell me what happened and what's going on here, because something happened, okay? There's nothing you're going to tell me that I've not heard a million times over my career. Only you're going to be able to get out in front of this the best you can, okay? I have to see some remorse. Okay, I understand. Well, I have to see that. Okay, I've not been telling you the whole truth. I'm sorry. Remorse means I'm sorry. Okay, so you understand what I'm saying? This is what happened, and this is the truth. Okay, a 6-year-old just doesn't get up and walk out the door. Okay, there's more to the story than what you're telling me. Okay, I've talked to James. My partner's talked to James extensively. And James is coming off of this slowly. I would suggest for you, just tell me the truth now. He may have told you more now. I don't know. I've been in here with you, okay? But James has said, he took a deep breath, and I suggest that to you. Take a drink of your pop, take a deep breath, and just tell me what's going on here, okay? Stuff happens in life. There's no perfect parent. There's no perfect person. I got very pissed off at my kids many, many times over my lifetime, and been aggravated with them to the point where, I could literally choke them out.
I get aggravated with them a lot, but I wouldn't.
Okay, tell me what's going on with the baby. Tell me the truth this time, the entire truth.
Sorry, my anxiety's
I understand that.
off the chart.
I understand that. Okay, and maybe something did happen that you didn't mean for it to happen, but I need to know that.
The monologue from Detective Hoover is a direct application of compliance psychology, a technique that involves creating a high-pressure environment and then offering sympathy and understanding to the suspect in exchange for a confession.
We can get into all this stuff, okay? Tell me what happened.
James told me to get rid of the kids.
Okay.
And so I took them for a drive to make them think I'm going to get rid of them, but I'm not going to get rid of my kids for anybody on this planet. And he told me to get rid of them because they were not listening. He was tired of putting up with it. And I kept telling him, like, I'm not going to get rid of my kids. Like, I can take them, give you a break, and for me and them for a little while, take them for a drive, whatever, but I'm not getting rid of them. They're my kids. I will not do that.
Okay.
And I said if I wanted to do that, I would have gave him up a long time ago. But he kept telling me, either get these kids under control or get rid of them or do something with them. So I tried asking family members to...
So what happened last night? Let's fast forward to that.
We went for a drive. I don't know what road it was.
Okay.
It was just, we were just driving around. Well, the kids were going to the bathroom. I had pulled over to this, a little booth.
In Middletown?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a little stall or something. A bathroom. I pulled over to the bathroom and let them all use the bathroom. While it was raining and stuff, I left the door unlocked in the van and told them, we'll all go in here, not all of us at once, but each one of us go in here one at a time, use the bathroom. So we went in the bathroom. Well, I couldn't go in there, but when I went to go in the bathroom, I told them, go ahead and just get in the van. Well, James had slipped and fell because his shoes were wet, slippery, and he had hit his head. And
did it kill him? Is that what you're telling me? Did the fall hurt him?
Well, I asked him if he was okay. He wasn't answering me. So I noticed he was breathing kind of heavy. And I thought maybe that's not normal. I've never seen him breathe like that before. Well, he was breathing. I don't know how long he was breathing for, but he had fell and busted his head on the side of the van and trying to get in there. And he was breathing heavy for a couple minutes, and then I tried to do CPR. I couldn't get him.
So he stopped breathing. And where's his body at? You're doing good. Okay? Just tell me where his body's at, because I got to go find him. For you. Okay? This is called closure now. Okay? Where's his body at? Would you take it back home with you?
No, I left it.
You left it? So who's all in the car with you?
All of us.
James, you...
Yes, we always know
Then the
how to
three
go
children.
out as a family.
So all 5 of you?
Yes. Well, I left him laying in there on the ground because
Yeah.
I was going to call the ambulance, but I was scared, shook up, didn't know what to do.
Okay.
So
now we need to figure out where this is at.
Well, the little boy was laying on the ground. I went to the bathroom and told him, you try real quick, because I couldn't hold myself. I told him, you try real quick to give him CPR. And so I went to the bathroom, I came out, he was gone.
Okay. What did the other 2 children say about all this?
Well, they were in the back seat, so they couldn't.
Okay. I'm going to give you a break here for a second, okay? Take it. Relax, okay?
Gosney is nearest to the truth at this moment, and Detective Hoover is not ready to back down now. He rapidly questions her, not allowing her time to fabricate lies, and accelerating the process to elicit a confession, in a technique which can be referred to as rapid-fire questioning, or fast-paced interrogation. Although it's certain that Gosney will now cushion the truth with lies to mitigate her involvement in the crime, she cannot be given time to shell up again. Detective Hoover instead extracts as much information as he can that he'll next use to leverage James. Gosney has confirmed little James is dead, but lies about the rest. James might tell them where the body is and lie about the rest.
You guys are up, or she's up at Rush Run. She brings the body home. Does she go back up to Rush Run?
No, she does not.
Okay, this is going to help you tremendously. If I can find this and you weren't there, then if you can help me find the body, then that's going to be huge for you.
Right now, you're trying to do the right thing and help out your fiance. You're protective of her already. We've established that because you were talking about having dirty pigs over, and you don't. And that's what a man does. The man protects and helps. I'm going to call her your wife, but you know, nobody's blaming you for you trying to help her. But,
Yeah, I help my wife. Okay, I understand that. I understand the love that you have for her, okay? It's not what we're talking about. We really do understand that. So she brings the body home. Is it in the bedroom? And then what happens? Even if you yourself went out totally by yourself and got rid of it, I just need to know where. You're
still helping your wife.
I don't know exactly where it was, sir.
Okay, were you with her when the body was dumped?
Yes.
Okay. If we went out driving, did you take it back up to Rush Run?
We wasn't up at Rush Run, man. He's off a bridge. He's in the river.
Okay, what bridge? Middletown Bridge?
No. Cincinnati.
Down in Cincinnati?
Well, it's the bridge that goes from Kentucky to Indiana.
The 71 bridge? Is that 71?
275.
Oh, okay.
Right. Did you bag him up or anything?
No.
So he was in his clothing? Okay. How did you what time of day or night is this?
This was about 3 o'clock this morning.
This morning? Okay. What did you do with the other two kids go with you then?
No, they was at home and they asleep.
All right, so both of you guys get up. We got to do something. And then take him down to Cincinnati off 71, you're thinking?
275, yeah.
Okay, and just throw him off the bridge, or did you?
Hold him off the bridge.
Was it like a stream, or was it the actual river?
The actual river.
The Ohio River, the big one.
Yes.
All right, but you're doing good. I know this is hard on you, all right? Look at me. I know this is hard on you.
Now I'm going to jail just for helping her. And she's trying to blame me for this. God damn what she gets involved with. I'm getting ready to spend the rest of my life in jail for nothing, man. I didn't have no part in this except for helping her.
With this, James is experiencing the prisoner's dilemma. In the context of a crime, it occurs when one member of a group or partnership confesses to the crime, causing the other to feel pressure to confess as well to avoid being perceived as the sole guilty party. This can happen because each individual wants to minimize their own punishment and maximize their chances of leniency by cooperating with authority or shifting blame onto the other party. But in this case, the police have succeeded in making James feel that he was betrayed by Gosney and has only two choices. Either he speaks his truth or takes the fall for Gosney, leading to a painful revelation. What is really twisted is that James looks more disturbed by narrating his story. He's either scared of the consequences or is displaying a guilty conscience. Both these things are dramatically absent in Gosney.
Well, James didn't want to get out of the van.
Right.
I'm talking about the kid.
Yeah.
He didn't want to get out of the van. And he was forcing me, like, you gotta get rid of the kids, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, dude, why should I have to get rid of my kids? Why can't you just go?
Sure. So he wouldn't get out of the van, and what happened?
And I told him, because he had to use the bathroom too, told him I wasn't going to leave him.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was thinking about leaving him, so I kind of like pulled off a little bit, and James fell kind of down on his knees, got back, went to go get back up, and then just dropped.
Did you hit him with the van then?
No, I didn't hit him with no van.
Okay.
I didn't run him over. I didn't do none of that.
Okay. So he hits the van.
He had the van door slides open.
Mm-hmm.
So he had a handle of the van.
So the door is open?
No, they slide back.
Right.
It's a minivan.
Right.
They slide back. He had the handle of the van, the back door van, on the driver's side. And when I went to go kind of pull off, he didn't have the handle in his hand. It was kind of just like standing there. Not close to the van, but just kind of standing there, holding the van door, trying to get back in.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that door is messed up.
Right.
And I don't want to unlock it, don't want to lock. So, I went to go pull off, and James, as I was saying, he fell. Yeah, there's actually a little, not a big glob of blood, but there's like this much blood, or maybe it might be even more, where his head had hit the concrete, and I rolled him over, kind of try to help him back, see if I can get him to come back. Well,
did you know he was dead pretty soon, though?
At first, he was still breathing, like I said. He took a couple, like...
Where was he bleeding from?
Right here on his head, like he went to fall down.
Was he breathing out of his ears or his mouth? And if you don't remember...
He didn't have his mouth open.
Okay.
I know he had his eyes kind of like... You know how you kind of like sleep with your eyes open, like a tiny bit?
Right.
That's how he had his eyes.
Okay.
So he was, like, responding, but I guess couldn't talk.
Sure.
But he was breathing heavy. I don't know how many, I couldn't tell you how many breathing fast he was. But when I was with him, he was breathing still. And I was doing my CPR that I learned how to do and try to bring him back. And I couldn't. So I did it for like 5 minutes, and I knew after 5 minutes there was no getting him back.
So you carry the boy back inside. Have you already contacted James and told him what happened? Okay, by text or by call?
It was a text.
You sent him a text?
Yes, and then he called me, told me to bring him back because he couldn't get James to listen. And James had bruises on him from him hitting him. He's never hit me.
Right.
Ever. But, okay, listen.
Where were the bruises at?
Face, I want to say all over. Cover the place.
From James hitting your son? Okay.
Trying to punish him, basically.
Did he hit the other two children?
Sometimes.
Looks like she's got remnants of a black eye.
No, he's never hit her in the eye, but...
Has he ever hit her in the face or nose?
Actually, yes, because he kind of like punches them, like they lie. He kind of either punches them or smacks them in the
When
mouth.
was the last time he punched her? Because that looks like she's got a black eye.
I want to say like a couple of days ago.
Okay. What did she do to get in trouble for that?
Lying.
Okay.
I kept trying to tell him lying not a sin. That's their kids, that's what they do.
Right. Sure.
You'll eventually catch them in the truth later on down the line.
James wanted Gosney to get rid of the kids, and she was on her way to get rid of them. She did abandon them, but little James could not let go of the handle of the minivan and tragically got caught under the wheels. However, Gosney literally cannot look remorseful to save her life. The combination of sociopathy and parenthood forms a detrimental dynamic, one capable of wreaking havoc on children emotionally, mentally, and tragically, sometimes physically, as seen in little James's case. The picture of him desperately clinging to the door as his mother attempted to drive away in the dark of 3 a.m. is painful. On top of this, there were 2 kids who bore witness to unimaginable abuse, abandonment, and the tragic loss of their younger sibling. This singular event, amidst the backdrop of their already challenging day-to-day existence with James and Gosney, has the potential to alter their world and reshape their mental and emotional well-being. The trauma inflicted upon them is so profound that it is likely to result in debilitating conditions, such as PTSD and survivor's guilt, overshadowing their lives for years to come. When the case of little James reached the court, Gosney's initial plea was not guilty by reason of insanity. But post-evaluation, she pleaded guilty to 1 count of murder and 2 counts of child endangerment. On September 13, 2021, she was awarded a life sentence with the eligibility for parole in 21 years. Prosecutor Mike Moser said what Gosney and her boyfriend James did to little James was evil. When he threw his body into the Ohio River, that was the act of a calculated monster. To hold that body in a room for hours on end, in a cold room so it wouldn't decompose, and they can think through what they were going to do and how they were going to dispose of that body, tying him up to a brick, driving miles to the Ohio River, and throwing his body in? That's not monstrous conduct? I beg to differ with them. On October 5th, 2021, James Hamilton was given the maximum sentence of 19 years of prison time. Detective Tom McIntosh and Detective John Hoover received the Butler County Prosecutor's Meritorious Service Award for their marvelous detective work in a case as taxing as this. When child maltreatment takes place in a single-parent household, more often than not, there's an outsider involved. It's usually a romantic interest of the parent, who either does not feel any attachment to the children or feels like they're an unnecessary burden. Despite having raised his own children in his previous relationship, James did not like the presence of Gosney's children and subjected them to gagging with dirty underwear and keeping them locked in a wardrobe for hours. Gosney herself had tried to abandon her children multiple times in the past. She'd attempted to relieve herself of their custody but failed. In a regular attempt to discipline them, they were subjected to the threat of abandonment or were abandoned for a couple of hours. As admitted in interrogation, James and Gosney hogtied little James and threw him off the bridge, and despite several attempts, little James's body could not be recovered. On March 1st, 2021, a candlelight vigil was held in memory of little James. A large crowd of Middletown gathered to honor the boy who, in his teacher's words, could light up any room with his little presence. Environmental influences theory contends childhood trauma, abuse, neglect, or exposure to violence may contribute to the development of sociopathic traits. Do you think sociopaths are raised by sociopaths and conditioned, or is it passed down in genetic coding? Let us know your thoughts on the case in the comment section. Like, share, and subscribe, and let us know which case you want to see next.